You're at the table. Everyone's laughing. Someone's telling a story. The room is full. And you are completely, quietly invisible. Not because you're alone, because nobody in that room actually sees you. That's the loneliness nobody talks about. The kind that hits hardest when the room is the most full. Welcome to Introvert Island, where we don't try to become extroverts. We just figure out how to survive in a world that was built for them. I'm your host, Megan. Today we're talking about something I used to think was wrong with me. This feeling of being surrounded by people and still feeling completely alone. If you've ever been in a room full of people and felt lonelier than when you're actually by yourself, this one's for you. Here's something I didn't know for a long time. Loneliness isn't about how many people are around you. It's about whether any of them actually know you. There's a difference between being around people and being seen by people. And for introverts, and especially for HSPs, that difference is everything. Most social situations are built for surface-level contact, small talk, shared laughter, being in the same room at the same time. And that works for a lot of people. But if you're wired for depth, if you need the conversation to go somewhere real, surface contact doesn't fill you up. It just reminds you of what's missing. Researchers call it connection hunger. It's not the need for more people. It's the need to be genuinely understood by someone. And when you're in a room full of people who don't quite get you, you can feel that absence more sharply than if you were just sitting alone with your cats. Which, honestly, is where I usually end up anyway. Let me tell you about a specific afternoon. It was a team lunch. Big table, free food, everyone in a good mood. On paper, it should have been fine. And for the first few minutes, it kind of was, until the conversation split. Half the table started talking about a show I don't watch. The other half was doing that thing where people talk at each other, everyone waiting for their turn to speak, nobody actually listening. I sat there with my food, nodded at the right moments, said, "Yeah, totally," twice. And the whole time, I had this feeling, this very specific, very quiet dread, that I could leave this table right now, walk out the door, and nobody would notice for at least 20 minutes. That's not shyness. That's not social anxiety. That's just not belonging to the conversation that's happening. I got home that evening, and Max immediately jumped on my lap. Lanbo yelled for water. Miri shoved her face into my ear. And I felt less alone than I had all afternoon. Because they weren't asking me to perform. They weren't waiting for me to say the right thing. They just wanted me there. That's the difference. Not the number of warm bodies in the room. Whether any of them want the actual you. Okay, so what do you do with this? Because I'm not going to tell you to find your people. That advice sounds easy, and usually isn't. And I'm definitely not going to tell you to push through the discomfort and socialize more. What I actually want you to try is smaller than that. The first thing is just to name what you need. Not more friends, not to be less weird, but specifically, I need one conversation that goes somewhere real. I need to say something honest and have someone stay. When you know what you're hungry for, you stop trying to fill it with the wrong things. Stop showing up to the big group dinners hoping they'll fix it. Stop scrolling through people's updates looking for something that feels like connection. It won't be there. The second thing, and this one helped me more than I expected, is to notice the small moments that actually do fill you up. For me, it's a text from one friend who checks in with something real. It's a comment on a video that says, "I thought I was the only one." It's Max sitting on my keyboard, looking at me like I'm his whole world. None of those are having a social life, but all of them are connection, real connection, the kind that counts. And the last thing, which is maybe the hardest, you are allowed to leave the room. I know that sounds obvious, but so many of us stay, at the party, at the dinner, at the table, because leaving feels like admitting something is wrong with us. Nothing is wrong with you. You just have a different threshold, a higher standard for what counts as not alone. Leave when you need to. Save your energy for the places where you actually get refilled. And if right now that place is your bedroom with 3 cats and a quiet evening, that's not sad. That's just knowing yourself. So here's what I want to ask you. Think about the last time you felt that kind of lonely. The crowded room kind. The surrounded by people but completely invisible kind. Where were you? And, if you know, what was missing? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if any part of this felt like I was reading your diary, hi, welcome. That's what this island is for. Hit subscribe if you want to stay. It's quiet here, but you're not alone. See you on the next one.